Yo, yo, yo! Welcome to another Rich Challenge Leicester Square Theatre podcast. My guest this week is Hans Teeuwen. I'll work out how to say his name when I meet him. And he's very exciting. You'll enjoy him. If you like this and want to help me make a living, why not come and see me on tour? I'm doing a best-of show mainly in the spring of 2017. There are a few gigs in 2016, including Manchester and Bridgewater. But I'm coming all over the country in, so to speak, in February through to June. So go to richherring.com/gigs or richherring.com/the_best/tour and you can find out all about those. Please come and see my tour, please. Anyway, let's enjoy Rich Herring's Leicester Square Theatre podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Leicester Square Theatre. Please welcome, man. He's still ill. It's a week ago. What's wrong with this man's immune system? It's Richard Herring. I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm great. So that guy last week, you're much better than last week's audience already. First one of the series. So, welcome to the show. It's called Richard Herring's Leicester Square Theatre podcast. I was down at some kind of place where people do skipping. And there are some kids doing the double Dutch form of skipping, which is particularly popular at the moment with Malcolm McLaren. And they were calling it Leicester. So I know it's catching on. So let's see. Oh, I've forgotten to bring my iPad on again. That's something I can film with my phone. That's how bad it's got. I haven't got the iPhone 7 yet. Anyone got the new iPhone? No? The old new iPhone. But they've got the new operating system, which is annoying, isn't it? I'm trying to open it and I've gone to Siri. That's what happens, isn't it? Hey? Yeah, Apple. That's what it's like. Good. So I'm going to take a square photo of them. This is terrible. I mean, this is just terrible. Luckily, I can edit this whole bit. I'm trying to make it go to video. Here we go. So I'm trying to impress all the other comedians, and terrible. It's not even going. Hello, sir. What's your name?
Paul.
Paul, you're a newcomer to the front row of Leicester. Yeah. Thank you. With more enthusiasm. No, you're not that cool. You can say it in I'm too cool to say it. Is this your first time in the front row?
First time.
Yeah. How's it going so far?
It's been pretty good.
Yeah. Remember, you've only been here for 5 minutes. So
far.
Paul, what do you do for your living?
I work for Ancestry.
You work for Ancestry?
Yeah.
What's just the concept of Ancestry? For the
family history.
Family history website. Yeah, I love that stuff. What's the furthest back you've gone in your family? How many generations have you gone back personally in your family?
2. I'm a bit.
2. So you discovered who your grandparents were. Do you not think, maybe I just ask them who their parents were? No, it's difficult, isn't it? I went on Ancestry, I found it unusable. You want to be able to type. Well, I'll tell you, mate, what you want to do, just type in your name, then the whole family tree comes up. That's what you should just type in Richard Herring, bang, there's your family tree. Then you can go and do something else. I love that stuff, and I love it. I think it's really interesting. But I think family trees, and Victoria Curran was annoyed with me for this, but I think this is a very feminist statement. I think family trees should go through the maternal line, not the paternal line. Because you know for sure who your mother is, but you don't know for sure who your father is. Because your mother is a whore. I'm talking about you, Paul. It's just you. So it's not, those grandparents might not be. The mum is, your grandma's your grandma, but that's the only thing we can be sure of. So, fun, innit? How long have you been working there? Ancestry.com?
6 months.
6 months, yeah, you won't be working there anymore now. Let's have this. When they see this, Richard Herring laying into them. I like it, it's good. Are you going to stay in that? How many generations of your family have worked at Ancestry? been handed. It's been 10 generations, but the others didn't bother to write down their names. There's no records. Aren't you in trouble seriously for not having found out your great-grandparents?
No, they don't really.
They don't really care, do they? As long as they get you £5 a month.
I've got a free.
You got, yeah. Well, I'm assuming you would get a free account, Paul. Yeah. He was quite pleased with that. So, well, there's that at the interview. You go, any questions? Do I get a free ancestry.com? Because that is a deal breaker. If I don't, I'm not coming to work. Yeah, mate, you can have a free one. Yes. Yeah, no, then we give it to all the employees. I got that. Good. It's lovely to talk to you. Welcome to the show. So, our guest this week. I mean, he's probably, to be honest. We booked him after this show had already sold out. So I don't think any of you will know who he is. He is probably best known, but he's really good. He's probably best known as Slag from Op Leven en Doob. That's why he's back. That's why we're here. It's Hans Teeuwen, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Come in, sit down. There's a microphone.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
I'm good. You don't seem sick at all.
No, it's Dr. Showbiz, isn't it? Dr. Theatre, that's what they call him.
Okay, you get better when you
get better on stage.
Cool.
I still feel a bit. During the Armando Iannucci one, sometimes you have a bit of snot and you suck it in, think I'll just suck it in a bit, and then your mouth just fills with snot.
Snot, yeah.
And then you have to swallow the snot.
Yeah, that's what you were doing.
That I was doing. It wasn't all the way through, but it was basically, there was a point where my whole mouth was full of snot.
That's the best thing when you're doing coke, Yeah. They call it the drip.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no. It was just my own effluent. There was no drugs
That's a
inside
shame.
them.
Maybe that's the problem. You should do more coke.
I will. Thank you. David Cross advised
I'm
me
from
not to ever
Amsterdam,
do.
so
Yeah,
they should know.
they have some drugs there.
They do.
Yeah, that's what I understand. Were you ever pushed into a canal by a strange-looking man with his shirt off?
No.
No. Okay.
But it happens.
No, it does happen. We found out about that. So let's talk about Slag from Op Leven en it looks like boob, but what's the show called?
What?
Slag. You were Slag in Op Leven en Dude.
Can I have a look at?
I can't read my own writing. This is your first acting job, according to IMDb.
Slag. You saw this is like you see my Wikipedia.
Yeah, it's more or less your IMDb.
This is years ago.
It
This was
is.
like in 1989 or something.
Yeah.
And I had to play. I had 2 scenes in that television movie. I was a boy. It was about medical ethics.
Okay.
Yes, and I was and I was a young boy, and he had sex with his girlfriend for the very first time.
Yeah.
So I had a sex scene.
Yeah. Nice.
And then she would drive me home on a bike, and I got hit by a car, and I was clinically dead. And it's true. And then the whole thing was about that she got so attached to my heart that they wanted to give my heart to a black man, and she wouldn't give up my heart. It's true.
This is the most Dutch thing I've ever
It's
heard.
very, very, very Dutch, yeah.
On a
Not this
bicycle.
And he didn't get it in the end. No.
So was the medical ethics that racism is good as a good thing?
Yeah, but it wasn't racism. It was very confusing that they casted a black guy, because then another thing entered the whole
But
discussion.
she just loved your heart.
She just loved my heart because she had this scene. It was a Belgian girl.
Yeah.
And I remember that when they wanted to get us to get used to our naked bodies, so they sent us to a sauna together, the girl and me, which was horrible because I hated her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was sitting like this, and then they gave us some money so we could go out. They hoped that maybe, some real life and life might imitate art. But after an hour, I decided we just split the money and you go your way and see you on the set. Yeah.
Wow. It's a good story from old Heart.
Isn't it?
Slag. Is Heart Slag a
heartbeat. It means heartbeat.
Okay.
But I like the way you pronounce it.
Slag.
Heart slag.
Well, that is sort of what the show was about, wasn't it? She was a Heart Slag.
It's a fucking hard slag over there. Yeah.
It's nice, I like that. Good.
Slag my heart.
Not everyone might know who you are, Hans. I do know who you are.
I think nobody knows. Is there anybody who knows who I am?
That's your
It's
wife.
my mother, my wife.
Your minder.
Thank you.
Well, you must track him down, and there's lots of stuff online, but also
You
you can see
should.
him
You
live.
really should.
You're playing here.
I'm playing here.
Very soon. I saw you on Friday. I saw you 7 or 8 years ago as well. So it's quite hard to describe what you do, though, to someone. I mean, I find it quite hard to explain. I mean, so you work in something that, according to Wikipedia, is called cabaretier.
Cabaretier.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's more than stand-up. So because you
occasionally there's a song. That's about it.
Okay.
That's how it distinguishes itself from stand-up.
Yeah.
Sometimes burst out singing.
I mean, you have quite a lot of music. And
Yeah.
You play the piano very beautifully. And
Yes, I do.
You do. And you sing very stupid songs.
Very, very stupid song.
But so how did you get into that sort of level?
Well, in Holland there's a rich tradition in this kind of theater, and I don't know. I just went on stage and just the only criterion I had just keep the audience entertained and can sing a song, and if they get bored with that, I'll tell a story, and if they get bored with that, I'll go into the audience and insult someone, and if they get bored with that, I'll set the house on fire, anything. So
it's quite. I mean, it does. It's just really hard to describe. I like it, but it does.
You said that 4 times. Describe it.
I'm going to.
Give an effort.
It's a Dutch man coming on and behaving as I imagine all Dutch people behave all the time. In a random way.
Very direct. And,
it's
sexist, racist, narcissistic.
I mean, there's a lot of
sadism. There's a lot of that.
There's a lot of confrontation stuff. There's a lot of sexual stuff. But then there'll be a silly song about Nostradamus wearing green trousers, which that's my kind of level of comedy. That's
you like that one?
I do like that one. Well, that's a great song because it feels like I assume you're just making up the each verse differently every time you do it.
It's an ode to randomness.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of random stuff, and I imagine that it confuses a lot of audience worldwide because it's not, you can't describe it as stand-up. You can't.
No, that's
You must have had some terrible, terrible gigs.
I could read why in the eyes.
Well, if you're playing to an audience that at the Soho Theatre, the audience knew you, and there's lots of fans of yours in there, so they that's a nice audience to play to. But if you're going, do you go and play like 15 minutes at a club that people won't necessarily know who you are, or is it always to an audience?
Yeah, well, that's the fun part of coming to England. I can really surprise the audience with what I'm doing. And in Holland, they know what I'm about, so I can't surprise them anymore. So it's nice. It's exciting to play for people that have never seen me.
Sure. Bridget Christie says you're the best comedian she's ever seen, which is embarrassing for her husband. So she's a big fan. I mean, it's cool. Sort of, there's a lot of surreal stuff and quite offensive stuff. But you cover big subjects. So there's a great bit about Islam where you sort of look like you're going to veer away from talking about Islam, but then you do kind of confront it quite head on. Yeah. But it's about free. It's
quiet.
It's about free. I mean, a lot of the stuff seems to be about free speech. There's a great clip online of you being interviewed. I don't know what it's from, but 3 Muslim girls interviewing you while you're are you on a bed that's electrified? Is that?
No, it was is it called a nail bed?
Oh, it's a bed of nails.
Egyptians lie on.
Yeah.
I had to lie on that, and they interviewed me. The show was called Bimbos and Burqas.
Okay.
And I had mentioned them in a song that I sang at the revelation of a statue in memory of Theo van Gogh.
Okay.
And then they wanted to ask me some questions about that.
So they were offended by your take on their religion, and it was. But it's very interesting talk about freedom of speech and what that means and what offence means, which I think a lot of your act is. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're quite apolitical, you claim, but it is quite. I mean, there's politics in there.
Yeah, it's a bit more in this show, I think, a bit more than the previous ones. It's just too much happening now, too much craziness to ignore. To ignore it would be a statement in itself, I think.
Yeah.
So there's a bit more than there used to be.
Yeah. So that's quite interesting that you were friends with Theo van Gogh, who people may know was killed by a Muslim extremist as a result of doing a film about
Yeah,
women is-
about the suppression of Muslim women.
Yeah.
It was written by Ayaan Hirsi Ali, who was at that time a member of the Dutch Parliament, a Somalian girl who fled to the Netherlands. And she wrote it, and he directed it. And there was a letter to her pinned on his chest, so it had a lot to do with her as well.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry
But
about
that hasn't put you off.
No, it stirred me on. No, that's enthusiasm.
I mean, it's sort of weird. We haven't really. I mean, we've had incidents in the UK, but not in the same way that certainly France has had recently, and Belgium and Holland have had. So does that affect you when you think I'm going to go and talk about this, or do you just think, or does it spur you on?
Well, it's after Charlie Hebdo and Theo van Gogh and all these, writers, cartoonists, and I think when you get the message from fascists not to talk about something, then there's a moral duty to talk about it as much as you can. I think, and because otherwise you're giving in to fascism, and so. But the thing is to make it funny and not make it too heavy-handed.
Sure.
Because it's much more effective if it's funny.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's do that now.
It's right, Prairie, if you make it funny.
I'll do it with a funny voice.
Islam is stupid.
Do you believe there could be a community of people who still believe in Father Christmas?
Is that a question?
No, it's a question from last week. No, it's all right. That's fine. That could be.
I hope not.
When you started out, your double act part, you had a double act partner, and he died in a car crash.
Yep.
I mean, it's sad, but in some ways, looking back, it's. You never know, do you? You just never know.
A lot of dogs died on me too over the years.
Really,
There's a lot of death in my life.
Yeah.
Yes.
But and so you've got to reinvent yourself. I mean, that's sort of a strange thing to happen very early in your career.
Yeah. Well, it was the first thing It was the first thing I did.
Yeah.
As a duo act.
And you had some success.
Yeah, we just won a festival, and we had the car crash exactly 1 year after we won the festival. And so that
were you in the car?
That sort of launched my solo career. So
were you in the car crash as well?
Yeah. I was sitting next to him. Yeah.
Oh God. I'm a bit scared.
You
to
want to
be
have
near
some details?
No, I didn't really. I didn't know that hadn't.
You feel better now?
I do feel better. I feel. I'm just imagining it happening for me. I'm just thinking, no, I can cope with it. I'm looking forward to the product placement in this one. It's. I'll ask you some emergency questions. Emergency questions. So I think we need it now. If you were given the powers of a King Midas.
A what?
King Midas. Come on, man. You got King Midas in Holland. Everything you touch turned to gold.
Oh, cool.
What would you can have. What? It's not that cool though. It sounds cool.
Oh.
And then everything you touch turned to gold, and it wasn't as good.
Oh.
What would you choose to turn to if you could turn everything to something by touching it? Come on, it's an obvious question. It's a question you must have thought about a million times.
Do the question one more time.
If you had the powers of a King Midas...
Yeah, and I could turn anything into gold.
You could
Literally gold.
No, you could choose what it turns into. It doesn't have to be gold.
Oh.
You can have gold if you want, but it didn't work out well for King Midas.
I could change something into something else.
Yeah, but it would always be the same thing.
Well, then fuck it then. Why bother?
Good, you've learned the lesson. That is the
Why don't I do it? Is that a famous story here?
King Midas. King Midas is from ancient
And
Greece.
with a Midas touch.
Yeah.
Oh, I always thought she sang the Midas. The Midas. It's the Midas touch. A spider's touch.
Yeah. I like
Such a cold finger. I don't know.
Yeah. I like to get...
Pretty girls who enter his web of sin. Go in.
Yeah. I like to get...
Golden words.
I I like to get European comedians on who speak very good English and then find the one thing that they don't understand and then talk about it for about 20 minutes. That is, it's happened before and it will happen again. Have you ever tried sushi?
Oh, yes. So there's like a packet of rice and a bit of salmon.
Yeah. It's nice, isn't it?
It's just a bit of rice and some salmon.
Yeah.
I could never understand what the fuss is all about.
Is Dutch a real language?
Yes. Oh, yes, it is.
It is.
We invented the word apartheid.
Did you?
Yes. We did.
And just
The
that
Dutch
word.
That's all. That's our claim.
We took the rest of the day off. Yeah, I know. There's some Dutch speakers down there, aren't there?
Oh, yes.
There were.
Yes, that is Dutch speak. I can't do it. I can't do a South African accent. If I talk Dutch, I sound more like a South African than when I talk South African.
Cool. It just doesn't seem like a real language to me.
Why not?
It looks like someone's just taken it.
Wait a minute. A language doesn't look.
It doesn't. When you read
It sounds.
It sounds all right, but when you look at it on the page, you just think someone's having a laugh here.
Yeah, well,
They've just taken some English words and changed them a bit.
So you tried to read it.
I did. Well, I saw an article about you, but it was all in Dutch, and so. You know,
Okay. Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Somebody should translate my Wikipedia page.
They should.
Fuckers.
I'll ask you another emergency question. Which is worse, bestiality or necrophilia?
Well, the best thing is to fuck a dead animal.
Yeah.
I think. Because I mean, what do they care?
Yeah.
But I'd have to go for necrophilia.
It's worse than.
No, no, it's better. Bestiality is worse because what do the dead care?
Exactly.
They don't care. You know.
Yes.
So
that thinking got Jimmy Savile.
don't do it in front of the. Don't do it in front of the loved ones.
Don't do it at the funeral.
No. That should be rule number 1.
Yeah, bestiality isn't that bad, I don't think.
No. It's
If you're caring.
but that goes for man to woman sex and man to man sex as well. You have to be caring, gentle, subtle. Take your time.
Yeah.
There's no hurry. Don't push it. Don't force it. Let it happen naturally.
Yeah.
Love will surely happen if love was meant to be.
When you go to heaven, which I don't.
I sometimes say if you fuck a sheep, do it with him facing the canal because he'll push back.
Okay. If only, CJ from Eggheads. Do you get eggheads in Holland?
Eggheads?
Eggheads.
Oh, that's a BBC thing.
Yeah, it's
no,
BBC.
I always skip that.
Yeah.
What is it? It's a quiz or something?
It's a quiz. It's not very good.
Oh.
But CJ.
Well, thanks for asking.
CJ from Eggheads claims he murdered a man in.
Cool.
In Amsterdam.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's not very smart to do that on television.
Well, he did it. He wrote about it in his autobiography.
Oh.
He got away with it, and then he wrote about it in his autobiography.
Oh well, you know.
Yeah, but it's good to be honest, and if you're going to write an autobiography.
Yeah, and maybe you ran out of subjects to write about.
It is.
Well, let's do the murder then.
Have you ever killed
something
anyone?
interesting in my life? Yeah, oh yes. Yeah. The Amsterdam thing.
Have you ever killed someone and not told anyone about it and got away with it? No. Okay.
No.
Well, I'm going to catch someone out with that question over the course of Series 10. That's my guess. David Baddiel. That's my guess. He looks like someone who's killed someone. He definitely did. Richard Dawkins claims to have seen dogs doing a 69. What's the worst lie you've ever told to impress people?
The worst lie. I once was late at school. I was 13, and it asked me why I was late, and I panicked and I said my mother died. and she was alive.
Yeah, well, she was alive. And did they go, oh, that's all right, you can, or did they say you can
No,
shoot,
they took it very, very, very seriously.
Right.
As did my mother. Never again.
No.
No.
The
I'm gonna
problem
wait
is-
for her to die before I tell that thing. Never again.
Yeah. If you do keep...
She's alive.
Have you ever flown a kite?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Black painted kites. Yes.
A black painted kite?
Yeah. I like my kites black.
Yeah. What's anything happened while you've been flying a kite, or has it just been gone?
No, it's
all
a
gone
very
well?
stupid thing to do.
It
You
is. Is it popular in Holland? Because there must be a lot of wind in Holland.
On the beaches, yes,
Yeah.
on the beaches, these kites flying
Yeah.
around on the beaches, birds, not knowing what it is. Yeah, it's very exciting.
Do they still have a lot of windmills in?
Oh
Amsterdam?
yes, and wooden shoes and whores and free abortions and heroin and you name it, man.
Dancing mice.
Dancing mice. No,
Yeah.
that's not a Dutch thing.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Dancing mice?
The mouse that lives in a windmill in Old Amsterdam. It's from a while ago.
Oh, it's a song.
A mouse.
The mice that
in
in
a
old Amsterdam. Look at them dance. Look at them dance in the windmill.
Yeah. That's it.
I
He
think I
does.
remember it now.
Yeah. He has clogs on as well. That's the.
He had what?
Clogs on.
Clogs. The mice had clogs on. Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
And lives in a
It's
windmill.
quite an offensive song
Isn't
now.
it
I think.
for
Well, it's
whom?
quite offensive to the Dutch now. I think about it.
Well, fuck them.
Yeah.
I can take it.
What do you want to talk about now?
You're the fucking interviewer.
It's a good question.
Yeah, what you want to talk about now? About your book,
Yeah.
Richard.
There's very
you
few
say
copies
on
left.
page 113, but no, that doesn't happen. What? Why? Why didn't it happen? And shouldn't it have happened?
It
Now,
might be.
given the sales of your book, shouldn't it have happened?
It was when I'd murdered someone, and then I
And it
said
shouldn't
no,
have
I shouldn't
happened.
put that in.
Well, that's good that you.
Yeah,
A
I
little
remember.
late, that insight, but still.
Like I could have confessed to a lot of murders in that book and know what the police would take a long time to find me in. No one's reading that
Just
one.
do one confession every book, because otherwise you
Yeah.
run out of steam.
I'll give you a free CD if you like. That's.
Oh, fuck,
I'm doing
another
it.
one.
Yeah, you can have that. That's my As It Occurs to Me DVD.
Who's the woman?
She's a comedian called Hattie, and
Hattie?
she's in the opening titles of As It Occurs to Me. I sit in a high-backed armchair while two women dance for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Thank you.
What? Whose elbow is this? This is an elbow.
I think that's Lou Sanders' elbow.
Lou Sanders'
Yeah.
elbow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a very
You know
odd,
how to pick them, don't you?
It was a very odd.
Your elbows.
It was a very odd choice for the cover, I felt, of that DVD. But Chris Evans, not that one, decided it was important we did it, so we did it. So you were in a show called, film called Jesus is a Palestinian?
Yeah, it wasn't my movie, but I was in it.
Right.
And I had to shave my head. It was about, I was completely bald and filled with piercings, and I played I can't remember, it was a long time ago. Jesus, this is a trip down memory
It
lane.
is. Well,
Nobody
that's
asked
what
me about that.
It's about you. I thought you might remember. It's good if you don't remember as well.
Yeah, I didn't do too well, that
It
movie,
didn't
but
last.
it was about
it gave it away.
cults and religious nuttery, I think.
So you do like quite a lot of acting as well as the comedy. You've taken time off from comedy quite a lot, and you were saying backstage it wasn't. You took some time off after Theo was killed.
Yeah.
But it wasn't connected to that.
No, but no matter how many times I told people that,
Yeah.
they said, no, we understand. We understand. No, it's not. But yeah, I took some time off. It's
What-
good to take some time off.
You
every
think?
now and then. Yeah.
I say I don't think so.
No,
I don't take any time
well,
off, and then I get
And
very
here we
ill
go.
and hallucinate, and is this happening? What? So there was about 3 or 4 years where you didn't do any, we weren't doing stand-up. What were you doing in that time?
Singing.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear me sing.
I do,
That's
the
very
singing's nice.
Yeah, I thought so too, but it's just you and me. Because and every time I had an album out, and I said, I have an album. Well, yeah, great. When are you going to do a new show? When are you going to do a new show? But nobody wants to hear me sing. Nobody cares. and I'm giving it my all, put my soul into it, and people just put their noses up. Just be funny. Just please be funny. It's nice. You've had your hobby now, and now fuck off and be funny. It's very, very frustrating. Very, very frustrating.
But you came to Edinburgh with the Dutch Comedy Collective.
Amsterdam Comedy
Collective.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was from memory, and that did very well. And so then that's what kind of prompted you to come back to do stand-up again. Cool.
The rest is history.
The rest is. I'm going to do the product placement now.
Cool.
And we'll see if this is. Someone wanted his name. Thank you. The band is called. There's a band, and they're called. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's like Only Connect Clue of yllwshrk with all the vowels taken out. So that's the name of the band. I think they're called yllwshrk, but they just don't like vowels.
Yeah, it's without the E. yllwshrk.
Yllwshrk. Looks like some made-up Dutch. And for you people here, they're performing at the Water Rats in King's Cross on the 7th of October. For you people at home, they were performing at the Water Rats in King's Cross on the 7th of November. They're doing a song. Have we got a bit of it, Ben? Can we play in a bit of their music? We'll try. We're playing it on Ben's phone. Oh, wow, it's quite good. The man who's singing is called Ian Anderson, not that one. What do you think of this music? Is that your kind of music?
Why are we listening to this?
Because they paid us £300 to play it in.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely marvelous, you know. Yes. It's like a lost tape found from David Bowie.
Yeah.
Tape. It's a bit Bowie-esque.
It's nice. I liked it. They do a song called Northern Soul about Paul McCartney. Are you a fan of Paul McCartney's? Do you know him? Do you have Paul McCartney?
The Beatles.
Yeah, he's from the Beatles.
all great. The
but
Beatles.
It's
yes.
about transforming from genius to a bit shit, is what he says. Do you think that's fair about Paul McCartney?
Well, Obladi Oblada was the first sign that there's a dark side to him. What about Ebony and Ivory?
Yeah, I mean,
that destroyed race relations for a decade, I think.
It wasn't a very good metaphor, the Ebony and Ivory, because there are a lot of white keys and the black keys are sort of kept separate.
I know.
Not used to that. So it was
fucking racist. Paul McCartney, who would have thought?
I think it's unfair on Paul McCartney, though.
Paul McCartney, a white supremacist. It's kind of beggars belief.
I think anyway he could coast on the stuff he did in the Beatles, but I think he's done good stuff since the Beatles. What about all some of the
Mall of Kings,
we can all pick out the Mull of Kintyre and the Frog Chorus. We can all do that, but there was lots of stuff in
Live and Let Die.
Live and Let Die.
That was nice.
Yeah. The album Ram.
Ram?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm gonna play that when I'm home.
It's good. You should listen to that. I think it's unfair on Paul. It's kind of interesting, but that's.
He can do whatever he wants. He's a Beatle, for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
Come
exactly.
on. Have a little respect for your elders. Come on.
It can, and it's difficult to follow up if you start.
It's hard, yeah.
If you start
especially
with
with
the Beatles,
wings.
Yeah. Would you ever put your partner in your comedy act?
My dead partner?
No, your wife. That could be interesting.
Maybe one day when I'm really desperate for material, I'm going to use my dead partner.
Now she is his dead partner,
Oh
unfortunately.
yes, I sometimes mention my girlfriend or my mother.
But you wouldn't have her up on.
Nobody's safe.
Would you have her up on the stage, chipping in the odd joke?
No, with a tambourine. And, no, that I will not do. Nor would she.
So we're both born in 1967.
Yes. The golden generation.
You're 2 months or 3 months older than me.
Okay.
And we both have young daughters. You've got a 3-year-old daughter. Why did you leave it so late to have children?
I was a little caught by surprise, to be honest. And then I thought, well, yeah, what the hell? Let's roll with it.
Yeah, I mean, like, are you enjoying it being a father, though?
No, it's fucking awful.
So it is bad.
No, I enjoy it. I really do. Yeah, it's
bad when they give
only
you diseases.
it's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though she's quite conservative and especially for her age. But, but no, it's fun.
Sure. Yeah.
How's the sleep deprivation?
Well, I'm just sleeping pretty badly. The problem is we're old, right? And so I just sleep really badly. Anyway, before the baby was born, I was waking up at 6 o'clock anyway.
Okay.
If I have a drink, as I did when I came to see your show, I wake up at 4 o'clock anyway. And so, I'm very tired. Have you not noticed?
Well, that's good to know, Richard.
Yeah, I'm fucked, man. It's terrible.
Fuck.
Have you got any...
What's the name? What's your baby?
Phoebe.
Phoebe?
Yeah.
My girl, my daughter's name is Nika.
Nika?
Nika.
Ah. What's the funniest thing she's done so far in her life?
Funniest thing? Gee.
My daughter the other day did this, and it was funny, and she looked really pleased with herself. Just out of nowhere as well, it was quite good. She just discovered
my
that...
daughter tried to do this, but she couldn't.
No, she's a little bit older, so she's got. I left it.
She got more skills, yeah.
They're stupid, aren't they? They are stupid, and they give you diseases.
They give you diseases, and they have nothing interesting to say.
My daughter says shoes a lot. That is fulfilling a stereotype. Yeah. Just interested in shoes. That's all she cares about. Right, I'll give you another emergency question. I'm going to work through 500 emergency questions here. That's what I've decided to do.
I'm here.
Do you have any good... Oh, I won't ask you that. Do you... there's too many that have specific English references. That are just be... Would you rather have a hand made out of ham or... a hand made out of ham...
Hands made out of ham?
Or an armpit that dispenses sun cream? Here's a question we haven't had for a while. But it was greeted like an old friend.
The second one was?
An armpit.
Made out
an
of?
armpit.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
that doesn't made out of armpit.
No.
It dispenses. Obviously, it dispenses sun cream. Like that you can put on your face to stop getting sunburn.
I'd go for the hand.
Yeah.
Use it to masturbate.
You could use the
like somebody else is doing
You
it.
could use the sun
like
cream.
a cow with hands.
The sun cream would be quite useful for masturbation, though. As
you can use that.
You yourself talk about.
You can do it do it out in the open in the sunshine, and not get burned. Kill two birds with one stone.
Okay, it's good to know. I know that is the sun cream is the least popular answer because we made badges and I sold them, and the ham hand ones all sold out, and there's still loads of sun cream armpit ones left. So I know for sure that that's the least popular of the choices. Are you interested in time travel? We'll start again.
Yeah, I'd like to go 30 minutes ahead.
We could go 30 minutes back and start again. Should penis transplants be allowed?
In Japan. Anywhere in Asia.
Yeah, should be allowed.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a dangerous precedent to allow people to have someone else's penis? Would you like your...
Yeah, because then only the rich would have huge cocks and the poor people would have tiny ones.
Exactly.
That's not fair, is it?
Well, or the poor people might have no cock because the rich
no
people...
cock at all.
Well, they've been harvested by the rich people.
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't be able to afford
there's a famine and everybody has to sell their penis. Oh my God, no. No, let's not go there.
Okay.
No.
Would you donate your penis after your death for either medical science or to someone else?
I would donate it to my daughter as a remembrance.
Conception, right? That's fine. She might remember that.
Circle of life, isn't it?
This is where you began, but it should be your balls, really.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you can have them too.
This is where you started.
What good are balls if you don't have a cock?
Why do elephants have such low rates of cancer?
smoke.
They don't. Thank you for a good answer. You know, naked mole rats also don't have much.
Naked mole rats?
Naked mole rats don't get cancer very often.
They do.
No. Just
Come,
thought you might like to
no
know.
punchline?
Just a little,
Okay.
little fact for you.
Okay.
Is sex with a ghost cheating?
Not if you're not in a relationship.
But what if you are in a relationship and then a really sexy ghost?
If my girlfriend would fuck a ghost, I would be jealous.
Would you? Yeah.
Nevertheless, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No excuse. He's dead. I don't give a fuck. You fucked him.
Would you have sex with a sex robot?
Yeah, but it has to be a really good one.
Yeah.
Not,
They're-
it has to be like resemble a real woman.
yeah.
That's my only thing.
It's quite a big
Westworld, you know, you see the movie Westworld?
Well, I've seen the original. I haven't seen the
Yeah.
TV show. Yeah.
No, it's not on yet, but
No.
and the original was quite an exciting idea
Yeah.
to go into a western town with all these robots,
Yeah.
and then go to a saloon with cowboy whores. And I thought it was yeah. Oh, I definitely would. I would do any.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do anything else anymore.
Do you think there's a moral problem? If,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well, there is. But if you can choose everything you want about your partner, if they're literally a robot, you can choose their personality and what they look like. Would that be interesting? How long would that remain interesting? Do you think the tension that you have with a real human being, and the fact that they aren't perfect and molded?
Oh, that's a very conservative thought. I would say, yeah, bring it on. Bring on perfection.
Yeah.
And if I get bored, we'll make it even more perfect. Because we can do anything by that time, so I'm not scared of that. No.
I think the
Just sit with this, just sit with your virtual reality glasses on and just enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah.
We'll all just be stuck in
So fucking what? Okay, yeah, you won't feel like that because we'll inject you with something that makes you feel really, 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 really good.
Yeah.
And forget that you're just in a chair wearing a helmet. So, no, bring it on.
Yeah.
I love the future.
Yeah. Do you ever worry that
No.
No. Do you ever worry that you've already lived your whole life and you're now in an old folks' home and what you're experiencing now is a memory of something that happened 40 years ago?
Either way is fine with me.
Okay. Do you think? Well, I'd be disappointed if this was one of the things I remembered at the end of my life. I'm sure you would be as well.
Your whole life might have been leading up to this moment.
Yeah. That's all right. I was going to ask you a question about Robert's Web there, which I think that would be.
Robert's Web?
Yeah, I think that would be.
Is Robert a spider?
Well, he is. He's a man called Robert Webb who does
cool.
who does a series about being the internet, being on the internet. It's called Robert's Web, but it was no.
But you can ask the question.
Do you not have Robert Webb in Holland?
No.
We should.
We used
export
to.
him
We
out
kicked him out. We said.
If you could jump into a pool of something, what would you jump into a pool of?
I would jump into a pool. Well, water would be nice.
Water. Yeah. Sometimes it's the most obvious answer. And me and my wife have a system where we're allowed to have sex with 5 celebrities if they're on a list, and if we meet them and they want to have sex with us, we won't divorce each other. Have you got celebrities you'd like to have sex with? And are they all Dutch people we wouldn't have heard of? That would be perfect if they were.
Basically, your question is, who would you like to fuck?
It's come down to that.
You really got it now. Well, anyone really. Anyone.
They have
I'm
to
so
be on the
grateful.
list.
I would be grateful either way. You know.
Yeah.
Just anyone who wants me, I'm in for it.
Yeah, well,
I'm up for
I
it,
know
up
what you
for
feel. You get to a certain age, and you just sort of think, God, it's kind of over.
Insecure?
It's over.
Insecure?
We're old. We're nearly 50 years old. Aren't you worried
We're
about
not
the approach?
old. We're barely 49.
We're approaching 50.
Yeah, so what?
Everything's falling
50
apart.
is the new 48. We're not old.
Do you think you can carry on doing crazy stand-up comedy as you get older?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because I'm always very glad when I see someone who's in his 60s and still funny. I think, okay, yes. So it is possible. So, it's not getting harder. Maybe it's even getting easier. The writing gets easier, I think. And I'm finding out more about how my brain works and when I need to trust my intuition and when I just need to say, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna go on tomorrow.
Yeah.
So the writing, obviously the performing is more tiring, but no, so far so good.
A lot of your stuff feels like the genesis of it must have been like a big leap in the dark. I mean, a lot of comedy is often a leap in the dark, isn't it? You don't know whether something's going to work. Mm-hmm. But when you're coming on and you start this show with a little dance and a look at the audience, and it is a funny look and it is funny, but there must be a point going, well, did you think this will definitely be the opening to my show? This is definitely going to work?
Well, I did this bit in a Dutch show,
yeah.
What you're referring to. So, doing especially absurd material for the first time is very scary.
Yeah.
Because you really don't know. And if it's not working, it's absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, a bad joke is still a joke, but like a bizarre act, and it's like people are just looking at someone doing something strange and being very serious about it. It's very, very embarrassing. Yeah.
So that's I find that a difficult thing with surreal comedy, because when it works, it does work, but due to its very nature, there is no explanation of why it works. No. And so a lot of people go, oh, you just go on and say fish and blah, 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 and it's easy. But it isn't. It's really difficult.
No, it's really difficult, and there's no formula, and there's really no predicting whether something is going to work or not.
No.
Might seem funny when you're stoned at home, and then you come on in the real world, and it's just annoying, strange, and time-consuming.
But do you find that I find like with my comedy show, which we often once the tour gets going, it's quite similar, and you're fairly sure of how things are going to work, but one performance, suddenly everything will be flipped around. So did you find that is happening more to you? Do you find like one performance varies from the next one a lot because you're doing so much stuff that depends on new audience making that kind of leap towards?
No, I'm getting a bit better in predicting whether something is going to work or not. I don't get surprised that much anymore on stage, and I know better how to get in the proper mental state to perform.
Yeah.
In the old days, I thought I was feeling really good, but I was overconfident, and after 2 minutes, you just know, oh, and then you have to pull yourself up, and then I start screaming, and then my voice is all fucked after the show, but that doesn't happen to me anymore.
No. And because it's very confrontational, I think, in a lot where you'll take on a subject of, whatever it is, feminism or race, religion. And so there's a big bit about Jewish people in this show, which, people could... I think if they weren't listening, or even if they were listening, they could...
If they weren't listening, no problem at all.
If they're properly listening. It's, you must get people who... Because it happens with all comedy. Someone will come and go, how dare you? I find you funny until you mention the thing that I don't like, and now I'm angry about it.
Yeah, but in Holland that doesn't happen anymore. No. They know me too well to think that I suddenly turned into an anti-Semite or something. So, but here it can happen, especially if they don't wait the whole routine out and start interfering halfway through. But that's nice too. It's exciting, and ultimately the goal is not to offend, but to include everybody in this sort of relativism and have a big laugh at it all, especially the subjects that are controversial and there's a lot of tension around it, and it can be a great relief if you can suddenly laugh about it.
Sure. It's very, very interesting. It's very interesting. You must come and see his show. It's very interesting.
Yeah, come and see me, please.
It's interesting to talk about it.
Lots of seats.
It's entertaining when you watch it. Aside from saying, "Can you do that bit now?" which I'm not going to do. It's not. It's very hard to. It's very hard to explain it. But because I just found it, I found it quite. I was quite ill when I came to see it, and I've been drinking.
You're ill a lot, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. Well, it was the same. I've been ill all weekend basically. So I'm living on a beautiful, hallucinatory weekend. You don't need drugs. You just need the germs of a tiny baby, and that's as good as it gets. But no, I found it quite. There was bits of it that I was staying backstage. It reminded me up to an extent, but not quite the same way as Jerry Sadowitz, who I don't think is a comedian you've seen. But
I've heard about him, and
but he's he'll really make you laugh, and then he'll say something you find quite offensive, and you feel bad for having laughed at him, and you hate him for a second. But then because it's I think with him he's immersed in that character. I think with you it's quite hard to tell who the real you is, and even within the act, it's changing from moment to moment.
Yes.
So you're playful, and then you're angry, and then you're playing the piano, and then
they don't quite know when I'm in and out of character.
Yeah. So it's quite confusing.
Yes,
but that's all part.
That's part of the fun. Yeah.
Cool. Just don't do some
It
jokes.
doesn't have to be funny all the time. We
Doesn't.
can talk
Doesn't
about
have
our
to be funny.
profession. Like two regular blokes.
We are. We're just two old men.
We're not old.
How old do you think you're going to get to? How long? How old would you like to be?
I have no idea. 94. I'm dying in November.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure. I don't know. I would like to. Would you like to keep working right until you die, or would you like to?
No. I hate it already. I wanna retire. But you have to do something, otherwise you get very bored. But it's exhausting.
Yeah.
Being on stage. It's nice too, but I mean the tension before, especially when you're doing something like in a strange language, for a strange audience. I mean it's draining. It really is.
Sure. With your shows, you've done them all in Dutch, and then you have to translate them into English, and is that? I mean, because that must be really difficult. Some of the stuff is there's songs. And
Some obviously there's songs with the rhyme and but you can take the premise of the song and then try to write a new song with the same idea.
Okay.
But it was surprisingly easy actually to translate most of it.
It's because Dutch is just English with saying it in a stupid way.
Like for this show, I had to look up two things: palate and beak.
Beak.
Yeah. This bit about a bird, the bit about the bird.
Yes. Yeah.
Those were the only words I had to look up.
And does it change the bits that aren't songs? Because it's so intricate in the way the language is put together and the arguments put together, and so the pacing and the cadence of the sentences must change as well.
Yeah, but once you have the right words and you just do it in your head over and over again, and then you find a rhythm of the new language. So it's not as difficult as you would think it would be.
Yeah, I think it would be difficult for me to go to Holland and
that would.
I think let's try that.
Yeah.
Give me a Dutch dictionary.
Yeah. Without knowing, and you can look up two words.
Yeah.
That's all.
I do know palate and beak. Those are the only two words I know in Dutch.
Like
palate and beak.
Gehemelte.
I'm surprised.
Gehemelte en snavel.
Fucking hell.
Snavel. Palate is gehemelte.
Right.
And beak is snavel.
Yeah. Does palate and beak seem as ridiculous to you as those sound to me?
Everything seems ridiculous in England these days.
What was quite interesting in the show I saw. I mean, this was really strange. I don't know if you found it strange, but your show is quite a structured show, and there's bits where you're joking about things, there's bits where you're singing, and then about just halfway through, a guy said, "Do you have any jokes about the English?"
Oh yeah,
And you kind of go, "This isn't really the kind of show where a man's just going to go, oh yeah, I'll just break off the song I'm in the middle of and do a couple of observations." And you just
he was probably thinking like comedy is like accounting. You did this, now you have to do this.
Yeah.
You did this, now you have to do this. Fair is fair. Yeah. It sounded to me like that.
It was so strange because it was a long way into the show. It was like, oh yeah, this is what I'll help him out.
I don't.
He seems to have lost track and just be doing some crazy songs. Hey man, maybe do some jokes
About the English?
Do you have any jokes about the English?
No.
No, that's what
No need.
There is no need. Are you glad we're leaving the European Union?
Oh God, yes. Was never a good marriage, was it?
It wasn't. I'm very sad about it.
You'll get by. Have a little trust in yourself. Have a little faith in you.
Yeah.
Everything will work
It's
out. Don't
it's all the
worry.
other cunts that I'm worried about. That's the. I'm okay, but it's the other English people. Could you take some of us over? In some we could build a bridge between Holland and
No
UK.
problem. We'll take some.
We'll sort of live in between the middle.
Those are not the worst refugees to have. English, disenchanted English people.
I'm not sure.
No, they're very polite, you know, and we're direct. We'll enslave them in no time.
I find Holland very exotic because two of when I went on holiday when I was 14, I got off with a Dutch girl called Carla. Do you know her?
Oh fuck yeah! Easy Carla.
And when on my first archaeological dig, I got off with a Dutch girl called Susanna. So
Yes, that's a famous song about Susanna.
Yeah.
Susanne, ik ben stapelgek op jou.
That's her.
Very famous song.
Yeah.
Give my arms a rest. Ask a question.
I'm not sure it's working in Dang. That's sort of harder. Anything you'd like to ask me about?
No.
I've got some great new questions. Let's see what else.
Questions.
Let's see what else we've got.
Questions.
How do you sleep at night?
With my eyes closed,
Yeah.
next to my girlfriend, like a fucking baby. Really, no problem.
You sleeping well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sleep worse when you
I sleep
you're getting older.
It's getting bad. I snore.
You have to get
The
out.
fatter I get, I snore. I
But
have to
is
go
your
sleep.
prostate problem and getting out to pee?
I've
is
got to go
that
and pee.
already?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we are old.
We are. We're pretty old. I'm just hoping. I say I don't want to live till I'm like in my 90s. I don't think.
I don't want to live until you're 90.
It'll be the same.
No, I want to. Yeah, I want to get a really. But as long as I don't lose my mind.
Yeah. Well,
As long as I can see what's going on and understand it, and not call you a flower and this beak, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I want to be around. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't have control over that. That's the terrifying thing.
Well, you can kill yourself before you go mad.
Yeah, but you have to choose the right moment to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to know, this is the moment I'm going to be bad.
Yeah, and then
if
you forgot. You don't know what a gun is anymore.
Exactly.
You
One
start
moment.
sucking.
It's true.
Man doesn't escape.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And there's
Yeah.
no escape.
Damn.
So the safest
Well,
thing.
we have the most marvelous euthanasia rules in Holland. lovely euthanasia laws. So I'll be fine. They'll keep you drooling for a few years.
Well,
I'll be long gone.
I don't know. I think like about 80. But when I was 30, I said I'd be happy to get to 46.
How old are your parents still alive?
Yeah, my dad's 80.
Oh God.
And that's why I chose that number. No, I hope he lives a bit longer. But it's I think like 90 maybe.
Yeah, 90 would be
90.
good. But by then,
Advances.
Exactly.
Robots.
Exactly.
Would you have your brain put in a robot so you survive? But part of the
Oh,
condition,
they will anyway.
There's a part of the condition is that people have to have sex with the robot, like 5 people a day. But your
My
brain
being
will still
very aware of,
of everything, and there'll be pain receptors. That
I would bring my sacrifice to science.
Yeah.
Yes, I would do it.
Yeah, I think I probably would. But like living forever is that's the
No, that's the most scary thought
Yeah,
there
that's
is.
the
Don't
curse of
concentrate on that too long because it's horrible.
Yeah. So what I don't understand with religion, which I know you're not a fan of, but is the idea you die and then you carry on forever.
Oh, that's
awful.
It'll never stop.
Yeah.
And then heaven is not really what you hoped it would be.
No.
And it just goes on and 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 on. That's eternity for you.
It's that long.
No borders anymore. It's like Schengen.
And I think you wouldn't have your body, so you wouldn't have eyelids either. You'd have
You wouldn't have eyelids.
No, you would be able to shut
What
your
the-
eyes.
Why would you want to go on without
You
eyelids?
can't shut your eyes, so you would be, and you would never go to sleep. So
No.
you're also awake 24 hours
It's
a
like
day.
living in Scandinavia where it never gets
That's
dark.
right, yeah.
You ever seen how they look?
Yeah.
Beautiful women.
But if you can't close your eyes, you're looking and you've got 360-degree vision, I think. That's what I think. That's what I believe.
You just lost me there for
Yeah.
a second, but it's cool.
I think it'd be nasty, so I hope it's the end. But I was watching, you know, the Monty Python team. Terry Jones has got Alzheimer's disease now. It's really well. He just got given a.
He was the best woman, I thought.
He
in
was
that
the best.
Pythons,
He
wasn't
was the
Yeah.
best Pepperpot, is what
Yeah.
John Cleese said about him. There's a very moving thing about him getting a BAFTA, but and his son talking about him at the end. It's very funny, but it's just so so awful to see someone.
I know.
Yeah.
Napoleon at the end thought that he wasn't Napoleon.
Right.
It's horrible.
It's weird when so many people think they are Napoleon.
He thought he wasn't, and he was. Isn't that tragic? All for nothing.
If those people who thought that Napoleon were any good at being Napoleon, they would think they weren't Napoleon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Alzheimer's a bitch.
Yeah, it's nasty. Yeah.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's wait here until we get it.
Yes. Better medicine, so let's all live to have Alzheimer's.
I think like so we're talking we got the 40 more years, 40 or 50 more years, 40 more years till we're 90. Shit.
It's a long time.
They'll be able to.
From your ninth till
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
A lot of stuff happened.
Yeah, they'll be able to cure it all by then.
We'll be fine.
Nothing.
Them
could
I
possibly
worry
go.
about.
Well, those youngsters, like this young fella down here, they're going to live forever.
I know.
No
more death.
They're not going to die.
Just living, 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 and living. Until there's no more UK.
You'll die eventually. Are you having a nice time? Someone with the virus.
Yeah, Gesundheit, for what it's worth.
Well, it's been lovely talking to you. I hope you've had
likewise.
A nice time.
Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for coming on. And where are you doing in the UK in October? Are you still going to be going on in because people must go. You're all over the UK.
Yeah.
You can check your website.
I have a mental block now. But check my website.
Yeah, but your name's impossible.
I can't pronounce those English.
Your name's impossible to spell. No one's going to be able to Google you.
No. It's a Dutch absurdist with a hard to pronounce name. That's a very commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they Google Nostradamus with the green striped trousers,
That might.
But
my name would be faster.
Yeah. I used to do a sketch about Nostradamus. I'm obsessed with Nostradamus.
You knew that.
Yeah. So I was. Oh dear. I wish I'd been less ill.
No, you were great. Wasn't he great,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen? See? Not a real applause, but still.
It was like
Sort of an
I'd
applause.
say
Yeah.
one in 6 people enjoyed my performance, and that is
It's good.
they're
It's
all
good. It's a
Amanda
good number,
Nucci fans
6.
really. So for both of us, it's a tough gig. You've been really lovely. Do check it out, Hans, if you get the chance. Ladies and gentlemen, Hans Teeuwen, ladies and gentlemen.
How'd you like them sky potatoes?